Ontario Presents Virtual Networking Series 2025, taking place October 7th to 9th. I'm Annie Wilson, the Director of Programming and Marketing for the Burlington Performing Arts Centre, and I am delighted to host today's Artist Showcase Pitches. On behalf of Ontario Presents, I warmly welcome everyone joining us from across the Canadian performing arts sector. Thank you to the artists, agents, and managers who make VNS possible, as well as our funders, Canadian Heritage, the Ontario Arts Council, and the Canada Council for the Arts. This year features 40 pitches from artists across Canada, reflecting diverse communities and cultural influences, all selected by a peer jury. Today, October 7th, we'll see 15 multidisciplinary showcases in a 90-minute session. Each has prepared 5-minute pre-recorded video with closed captions available. For details, a digital handout is available in the chat and at ontariopresents.ca, including bios, show descriptions, technical info, and price ranges in showcase order. To begin, I'd like to acknowledge that I'm joining you from the lands along Lake Ontario to the Niagara Escarpment, stewarded by Indigenous peoples since time immemorial, including the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, and the Métis. The territory is mutually covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement between the Iroquois Confederacy, the Ojibwe, and other allied nations to peaceably share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. We thank you for your stewardship. Okay, let's get started on day one. Amanda Martinez is a Toronto-born singer-songwriter of Mexican and South African heritage, blending Latin jazz, flamenco, and bossa nova. Her new show is a touching tribute to her father, weaving personal stories with heartfelt songs. Expect intimate ballads, lively rhythms, and so much heart in this unforgettable set.
Martinez, and it's such a pleasure to meet you virtually. Thank you so much to Ontario Presents for this beautiful opportunity to bring you into my living room. I often say that I want my audiences, when we perform, to feel as though they are in my living room and everybody is welcome and everyone feels at home. I do sing in Spanish, but you do not need to be a Spanish speaker to feel the music, and that's the way I felt growing up. I had a Mexican father and a South African mom, and our latest album, Recuerdo, which means I remember, is a tribute to my father. We perform as generally as a quintet, but we also perform as a smaller version, as a trio, duo with just Kevin and I, my guitarist, up to a bigger full 6-piece band with trumpet and violin and dancers. So depending on the size of your venue, we have different configurations that we do. But the main thing that I love is just making people feel uplifted. People have been known to get up and dance. We also love to serenade everybody the way you would in Mexico. I hope that you enjoy this sneak peek of my show and that you'll get in touch, because we would love to bring our music to you. Thank you so much for watching.
My dad was the person who I feel like introduced me to his love of music. It's funny, I think that my life was influenced by music even before I was born, because he came from Mexico to Canada by bicycle with my tío Arturo, his brother. And when they arrived in Toronto, it was actually a musician, Rafael Núñez, who was a Mexican singer-songwriter guitarist, that took them in and actually gave them their first little start and made them feel welcome here in Toronto. People often ask me, you know, how do you keep a band together that long? But I think it's because we are like a family, and whenever we go on stage and the lights go down, I feel like it's the one place where I feel the most relaxed.
Yo ando esquiando a los 75, ¿cómo me voy a quejar? Hay que vivir la vida.
A saborear. Comenzaré a disfrutar de romance hasta encontrar mi balance y este horizonte tan lleno de amor. I'm waiting for a falling star. I'm hoping that you're not too far. When will the seasons come again? Lose my pride and I'll be fine.
I hope our music has inspired you to get in touch. We would love to bring our music to your audiences in Ontario. Please get in touch, info@amandamartinez.ca, and I hope that we'll be performing for you soon.
Izad Itamadi is an Iranian-Canadian actor, writer, and comedian whose work blends sharp humor with themes of queer identity and migration. You may have seen him in TV shows like Orphan Black, Echoes, or Ghosts. His new show tackles a lifetime of having to define himself, his name, his sexuality, his identity, with jokes, stories, and even one unforgettable song. It's witty, heartfelt, and hilariously relatable.
It doesn't matter if you love him or capital H-I-M. Just put your paws up, 'cause you were born this way, baby.
Hello, everyone. My name is Izad Etamadi, and welcome to my show, Let Me Explain. I'm coming to you right now from Port Hope, where I'm about to start my week-long run here at the Capitol Theatre. Our opening night tonight is all sold out. Let Me Explain is about a very important subject matter. Me. I am an almost second-generation queer Iranian-Canadian immigrant that was born on a refugee camp in Germany. It's a lot. I'm the poster child for intersectionality. And I find I'm constantly having to explain my existence, bombarded with questions about my identity, everything there is to know about me, my name, my ethnicity, my sexuality, why I have such a hard time accepting a ride home, the reason I consume so much dairy when I'm clearly very lactose intolerant. It takes a lot of energy to explain all these things, and I just don't have the time for it anymore. I'm in my mid-30s now, and I have a whole slew of new problems in my life. Lower back pain, acid reflux, generational trauma. So with the help of the audience, I attempt to explain everything there is to know about me so I don't have to do it again. Here's some more. We participate in this very time-consuming and annoying custom called Tarov. How this works is if someone offers you something, you have to say no. Many times. Even if you really want that thing, do not accept it. Our people, we've been practicing this ancient tradition for centuries, but a lot of Canadians are ignorant to this custom, often leaving Persian people hungry or stranded in the cold with no ride home. So that wasn't Arabic. I don't speak that language. It was barely even Farsi. See, I really wanted to get out of there, so I thought maybe I'll just translate this into Farsi on the spot and no one will notice. Here's what I actually said. Do you know what time it is? They say that in America, the people are really nice in America. Can you please do me a favor? I really have to go to the bathroom. Please. Thank you so much. I'll call you later, Mom. I will sacrifice myself for you. Mom, Dad, there's something I have to talk to you about. I haven't been very honest with you. There's something I've been keeping from you. And let's face it, also myself. The truth is, I'm gay. What did you say? I'm gay. Is this one of your little joke? Why would you say such a thing? We are your parents. Of course we know you are gay. Obviously you are gay. Did you really think we did not know that you are gay? So I did what most closeted gay kids do when they're trying to find themselves. I auditioned for musical theater school.
Hallo, 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 guten Tag. Da ist die Bäckerin an jeden Morgen mit seinen Broten hier zur Stern. So geht's Tag aus Tag ein, seit wir hier treffen ein. In der Stadt am Ende wird Guten Morgen, Bell. Herbei, hier trifft sie ihren Prinzen.
Now listen, finding out how Beauty and the Beast in German fits into my life story is worth presenting alone. Trust me. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope to see you soon.
Ariane Marique Lumiere is a multidisciplinary artist with a poetic folk style that mixes music, theater, and storytelling. Known for raw, honest, and funny performances, Ariane brings a new show exploring repair through those visible seams that make us who we are. With songs, stories, and a touch of spoken word, this is intimate, thoughtful, and full of reflection.
My name is Ariane Marique Lumiere, and I'm a bilingual singer-songwriter who splits her time between Saskatchewan and Alberta.
Si j'avais su jouer la comédie, non, si j'avais su me plaire, je me suis battue contre les courbes, contre toutes les douceurs. Mais l'eau toujours l'eau, je te sens à nouveau.
My catalog is fairly eclectic because not only do I draw from French and English, but I also am a lyric-based creator, which means that the lyrics are the ones who decide what kind of music goes to those lyrics.
Here's to the sinner in every heart. Here's to the healing, forgiveness and parts. To the kindness that lives in each soul, that stops the madness of our inner troll. Here's to the failures who never succumb, who bravely fail till they finally won. Here's to the failures who never succumb, who bravely fail till they finally won.
And I draw from country, from folk, from drum and bass, from rock, from pop. And it creates this fusion with even jazz elements every now and then.
Les jours étaient longs, les jours interminables, les jours gris, les jours où je m'étonnais d'être encore ici. Ayant peur d'en dire trop, j'ai manqué le bateau. La marée t'a emporté et moi, je patauge ici sans boussole. Alors, c'est ça, ça y est, c'est fait, cette fois c'est moi. J'ai brisé mon propre cœur. C'est ça, ça y est, c'est fait, cette fois c'est moi. J'ai brisé mon propre cœur.
I'm finishing up my 2 next albums, one in French, one in English, which gives me over 6 albums worth of material to draw from when I create my set lists. This means that it's very adaptable to different age groups, to different events, to different vibes, and I'm able to do as much an intimate concert as something that's for the general public on a festival stage.
Je porte des post-it comme pyjama, des trous de mémoire comme galoche. Mais jamais je n'oublierai nos conversations tachées de café, nos nuits aux lueurs de chandelle, le velours de ton toucher. J'extrais tes empreintes de la dentelle de mes souvenirs, les embouteilles dans la cave de mes trésors.
I think human beings make the world a better place. Human beings are my passion, communication is my passion, and that's allowed me to be a workshop facilitator for over 20 years. With a background in theater, visual arts, and writing, I've worked with everyone from toddlers to senior citizens.
Ton nom dort dans le berceau de mes os. Des trous de mémoire comme galoche, un jeu d'échecs comme pantalon, le cœur de travers dans ma poche de veston, une voix sort de mes semelles et m'arrache les talons.
When you get one of my performances, it's a unique performance. It's a once-in-a-lifetime performance. My anecdotes in between the songs are always slightly different, and I also can tailor it to different formats as well. So I love touring as much as a solo act, a duo, trio, as I do as a full band. And my concerts can be strictly French, strictly English, or bilingual.
Ballet Kelowna, founded in 2002, has become one of Canada's leading contemporary ballet companies, touring across the country and beyond, led by artistic director Simone Orlando. Their new show is a high-energy program featuring top Canadian choreographers.
Greetings from Kelowna, BC, where we are gathered today on the traditional and unceded territory of the Syilx Okanagan people. I am Simone Orlando, the Artistic Director and CEO of Ballet Kelowna. Now, in our 23rd season, Ballet Kelowna proudly champions Canadian choreographers, nurturing innovative new voices and celebrating homegrown talent. While the company's foundation is rooted in ballet, we are driven by a passion to propel the art form forward. We are dedicated to commissioning works that are both daring and highly accessible. Our 26-27 touring repertoire includes a dynamic mixed program, Vividus, full of life. Bursting with energy and imagination, Vividus features stunning creations by Elisa Pyers, Cameron Sinqua, Fraser Monroe, and Guillaume Cote. Bold, cinematic, and deeply moving, Vestiges by award-winning choreographer Elisa Pyers is set to the sweeping melodies of violinist Hilary Hahn and composer Hauschka. This powerful work dazzles with Pyers' signature energy and artistry, taking audiences on a journey to find connection and meaning amid life's chaos. Takesh, by Cameron Sinqua, Fraser Monroe, Ballet Kelowna's associate artist, is an audience favorite and is set to a powerful selection of songs by Polaris Prize-winning composer and singer Jeremy Dutcher.
Hello, my name is Cameron Fraser Monroe. I'm a dance artist and choreographer. I was raised here in the Okanagan Valley by my 2 moms, but I am of First Nations descent. I'm a member of the Tla'amin First Nation, as well as being of mixed Ukrainian and Scottish descent. My first dance at the age of 3 was Ukrainian, and then I transitioned quickly into grass dance and hoop dance. And at the age of 16, I moved to the Royal Winnipeg Ballet. And the whole time that I was there, I continued hoop dancing. I presented on APTN as well as Indigenous Day Live. And all of this is something that I bring into my practice as a dance artist, that mixture of ballet and contemporary training as well as traditional Indigenous dance. So a strong motif in this piece is definitely water. The literal experience of water, how it feels to have water on you, how it feels to be in water. And then also the water's experience, in that we believe that water holds memory. Water has importance to our people, and how it's cultural, it's physical, that my ancestors have worked, lived on the water, probably spending more time on the water than on land. This creation is telling a story about how Raven returns the water. One of them is people's response to disaster. There is a drought in the middle of this piece. A big teaching in it is about greed and about how we share resources.
Guillaume Cote, the acclaimed choreographer and former principal dancer with the National Ballet of Canada, created Les Carnavals des Animaux for the company in January 2025. Brimming with whimsy and inventive flair, this exuberant work pushes the boundaries of contemporary ballet while captivating audiences with its playful energy and theatrical charm. Ballet Kelowna extends the performance experience beyond the stage with a range of outreach activities, including workshops for all levels, engaging pre- and post-show artist talks, and open company class viewings. We look forward to bringing our company of dancers to your community. From all of us at Ballet Kelowna, thank you for your time.
Adrian Sutherland is a roots rock powerhouse from Ontario's far north. He's a two-time Juno nominee, blending rock, folk, blues, and his Cree language into heartfelt songs. Adrian's music reflects his northern roots and life on the land.
Hi, Ontario Presents. My name is Adrian Sutherland, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share my music with you. I'm joining you from my home community in Attawapiskat, Ontario, in Canada's far north, and would love the chance to perform for more audiences in Ontario. I'm a two-time Juno-nominated musician for my 2 solo albums, When the Magic Hits and Precious Diamonds. A lot of my music is inspired by my upbringing, my community in Attawapiskat, and my culture. In my latest album, Precious Diamonds, I wrote 2 songs in my mother tongue, Omishkegwak Cree, called Notawi, which means father, and Gayash, which means before. These are the first 2 songs I've written in my language, and they're really special to me. I've been releasing recorded music since 2013, and I've been performing here in Canada. I love sharing stories about life in the North in my Cree culture. It's what connects people to my music.
There's no hiding friend. Once they cut your throat, they'll come back and do it again. Hey, Mr. Politician Man, what you done for me? Let it go. Hey, Mr. Politician Man, won't you break me off a piece someday? Oh.
I perform solo, duo, and trio shows with brothers Chris and Matt Gormley, who each bring over 20 years of live music experience to the stage. I perform 60 to 90-minute shows and use minimal tech to plug in. My performances also have no explicit content, making it suitable for all ages. When I travel for music, I love connecting with local people by visiting schools, friendship centers, and community spaces. I make time for youth, elders, and First Nation communities. As a traditional singer and a fluent Cree speaker, I enjoy sharing songs and words in my languages. I can also host workshops, and I'm a knowledge keeper, sharing first-hand accounts about sobriety, mental health, resiliency, life in the North, wilderness survival, land-based learning, Indigenous language, cultural teachings, origin stories, and the medicine wheel.
You're my river, you're my sky. Oh, sister, I have to find my own way to face today. You're my river, you're my sky. Whoa.
I'm the direct descendant of a survivor. My mother attended residential school, and I attended an Indian day school, so I can contribute to topics around residential school and truth and reconciliation. As one of the only professional recording artists in all of Canada who lives on a remote fly-in First Nation, my story has been shared on national media like CTV's The Social and eTalk, and international media like CNN Entertainment. I recently started working with an amazing team at Sweet Beats Music. My booking agent, Evelina, will be more than happy to respond to any booking inquiries. Thank you so much, and I hope to perform at your stage soon. Miigwech, Misuek, and Anasko Mindanao.
Robert Thomas is a veteran songwriter whose credits include Bonnie Raitt, the Dixie Chicks, and jingles for Ford and even 7-Eleven. Backed by the stellar session men, his new show, Hits, Misses, and Questionable Jingles, mixes acoustic versions of his songs with witty stories about the music business.
Now this next song illustrates a couple of things in songwriting, professional songwriting. Serendipity being one, and lying. I was in the midst of a 2-year span of writer's block. Any other writers here, you know it, hand. Writer's block. Dread it. You write what you think is equally good material, nobody will touch it, nobody will sing it, nobody will take it, publish it. And so my publisher, Don Grierson, very generous man, said, listen, you go find your mojo. We'll look after the shop. So he sends me and Clarence DeVoe over to Bridgeton, Maine, northeastern Maine. Has anybody gone through there? Same, beautiful, on Highland Lake, gorgeous spot. So there we are, we're trying to find the mojo, we're not finding it. So I go down to the Dunkin' Donuts in the little main street of this little town. And I'm reading the Bridgeton Times, this 2-weekly paper that comes out for this little Tri-City area, Tri-Town area. And in there is a story of a fellow by the name of Jimmy Weber. And he's an ex-high school football star from the town, Vietnam veteran, decorated 3 times for gallantry. Apparently he come back to Bridgeton. Nobody much heard from him for about 10 years. Then one night on the 4th of July, he must have got into the drugs. He probably had undiagnosed PTSD, not well known at that time. He shot up the town. Gets in an altercation with this fellow at the Chevron gas station on the edge of town. I'm reading this. My cell phone rings. It's my publisher. He said, listen, quick, The Dixie Chicks are looking for a song. They're looking for a follow-up to Goodbye Earl. Do you know that song? Yeah. I'm in. This is what you got. Now again, my dear people, this is where the lion comes in. It is not a good career move as a professional songwriter when an act the size of the Dixie Chicks comes a-looking to say, I have nothing to offer. So I lied. He said, what do you got? I said, I got just the thing. He said, well, what is it? So I proceeded to read to him, summarize the story from the paper. He says, oh my God. That's just the thing. What's the chorus? The chorus wasn't in the paper. I said, it's about redemption. It's about making decisions, crossing the line. He says, oh my God, that's the thing. When can we have it? Now this is early 2000s, before the internet, before sending files. This is Purelator, or the U.S. Mail. It was Wednesday. I said, when do you need it? He said, Monday. I said, you'll have it Friday. Clarence come up with this, Bridgeton. Across the big old lake, through the narrows of Nichols lies the town of Bridgeton, Maine. In the shadow of the White Mountains, where the forest meets the shores of Highland Lake's clear waters, well, Jimmy Webber was born. Now the story goes that Jimmy was never too good in school, but he quarterbacked the varsity, and Jimmy was no fool. He drew a low number in the draft of '69, served 2 tours in the Vietnam that forever changed his life. And he crossed the line, and no going back. So keep your head on straight, and your heart on track. If you don't go down for the second time, so just do you best think twice before you cross the line. Jim pulled out his weapon, he serviced 45. Said, look here, Mr. Johnson, come out of this line. Just empty out your register, man, do it nice and slow. But the old man just shook his head and said, I don't think so. See, I know who you are, son. I knew your daddy well. I heard you been in the Vietnam, and I reckon that was hell. But if you mean to take this money, to use that gun in your hand, I guess that's your decision, son. You just made it like a man. And you cross that line, and you don't going back.
Niall McNeil is a multidisciplinary artist with Down syndrome who brings heart, humor, and originality to everything he creates. His new show is part fantasy, part reality, and all whimsy. With storytelling, painting, lyrics, and movement set to Vede Hille's score, the show is magical, playful, and deeply human.
My name is Niall Patrick McNeil, and my role is to be the director. I'm the showstopper.
My name's Billy Marchensky, and I'm a collaborator of Niall's, and I'm the choreographer.
The title of the show is Beauty and the Beast, My Life. The story of the show mainly is about Belle, how she fell in love with the beast, and my life, feelings about me, about my life. That's connected to Belle and Beast. He's trying to learn how to love a woman very first time.
Beauty and the Beast, My Life is a very personal story of Niall's, which uses art and design and physicality as well as words to tell the story of this perspective of Niall's, which is very unique. It's a whole world in and of itself, and the set and the design is part of that world too. It's a way, I think, for Niall to express something very personal. It's not like anyone else's vision. It's very uniquely Niall's way of doing things, where reality can shift, characters can shift and change, and the world transforms right in front of your eyes.
Each characters have their own faith in themselves.
1 minute you'll be laughing hysterically, and the next minute you'll be on the verge of tears. It goes through a whole roller coaster of emotions, and I think that's what makes people excited about the show, is that behind every moment of tenderness and heartbreaking beauty, there's a joke behind it, or there's something magical that happens. So it keeps changing. You never know where it's going to go.
For me, you need to give a gift to you of the curse rose. My land, that is where I come from.
Beauty and the Beast, My Life was a big hit in Vancouver. It's got a cast of veteran performers. It has everything. It has great music by Veda Hilly. It has dancing, acting, dancing paintings.
The music, music is really good in it. That's really stunning music.
It's got beautiful lyrics written by, it's very relevant. It speaks to people from all walks of life.
For people who have disabilities in the community, they will love to see this on stage.
And it all comes from Niall's vision. As much as possible, the collaborators are all taking set and costume and props and music and movement and character work, all from Niall's vision, all from his sketches and his paintings, and it really is a real collaborative effort. The show comes with its own art installation, its own art exhibit, 14 sketches, as well as paintings that Niall has done, so that it gives the audience a chance to see the process.
Because it's extremely important to have art, paintings, sketches, and in the show. Let people see it.
There's live captioning during the show, so people who might otherwise have a hard time hearing what's going on stage, there's live captioning, so people can follow the story.
Captioning what the story is about. Let's say, Hollow Beats. It says Hollow Beats in big writing. And for me, what I feel about all this, I'm a different man. I don't need to be afraid. I just need some support. Don't miss this stage version. We're ready, we're tough, and we're going to take the show anywhere on the road. I see you all there, but don't miss it.
Ariane Rosico is a pianist and composer recently named Radio Canada's Jazz Revelation. In her new show, her trio explores themes of echo anxiety and resilience through jazz fusion mixed with Latin, rock, and metal.
Hello everyone, my name is Ariane Rosico. I'm a jazz pianist and composer from Montreal. I'm really excited to share with you a glimpse of my trio project. I come from a classical background. At home, there were always different genres of music playing, including a lot of jazz. And at 16 years old, I decided to switch to jazz studies and pursued it all the way to a master's degree because it's the kind of music that gives me freedom and allows me to truly express myself. 3 years ago, I released my first album called Envolé, loosely translated as Flown Away, with my trio, and that album earned me the Radio-Canada CBC Revelation Award and gave us the chance to perform in the opening part for renowned musicians such as Wynton Marsalis and John Scofield. A few months ago, I released my second album called Danser avec le feu, or Dancing with Fire, and today's showcase features the music from that album. It's a modern jazz fusion project. There's an influence of Latin jazz, metal, progressive rock, and classical music. In the band, Antoine Rochefort plays electric bass. We've been playing together for 10 years. With his pedal board, he's developed a unique voice. He brings beautiful textures, an intense groove. He also has an important melodic role in the trio. On drums, Guillaume Picard is one of the best drummers I know when it comes to dynamics. He plays with both finesse and power. One of the things that makes our concert unique is that each piece tells a story. There's a strong element of progressive music, and sometimes after shows people come see me and share with me the different scenes they imagined while listening. This show connects with all kinds of audiences. Children are also really captivated too. In small or large venues, both work very well. We're also quite flexible. An acoustic piano is preferred, but we can perform with good keyboard. A solo piano version of the concert is another option. And as a piano teacher myself, I can adapt the concert into an educational format. Thank you very much, all of you at Ontario Presents, for the opportunity to share my project with you today. We look forward to seeing you at your festival, your theater, or stage soon. I invite you to contact the agency Boulevard for more information. Thank you. Bye.
Divka is a project that reimagines women's folk traditions from Ukraine and around the world. With bandura, viola, and raw vocals, their music is a whirlwind of myth, rebellion, and femme power. Equal parts haunting and hilarious, their shows are immersive journeys of resilience and joy.
Hi, Ontario Presents. I'm Alina. I'm Zoe. And we are Divka. We're a duo based in Southern Ontario performing our signature genre of folk fatale music.
We primarily perform Eastern European folk music about badass women and all their glory, but we also write our own original compositions that kind of are a multicultural blend.
This is a bandura. This particular one has 61 strings. The instrument itself has a long history in Ukraine's oral tradition and forms an important part of Ukrainian national identity.
It's a viola, not a violin. No one had ever paired up bandura and viola before, so as far as we know, we're the first of our kind.
We can also expand to a trio, especially if you want a fuller sound, if you're having an outdoor festival and want people's toes tapping and you want them on their feet dancing, We have the incredible Nachme Faraman. Divka was born in 2024 and we've played shows all over Ontario, Quebec, and Senegal, West Africa. We've gotten really comfortable playing in a variety of spaces, dive bars and outdoor festivals, performing arts centers, and we're soon going to be doing our first academic workshops at some colleges in the United States. Something else that's been really awesome is the recognition we've got so far. We've been played on the CBC radio by Earl Nazareth a couple times. We have done Culture Festival in Kitchener-Waterloo, and we got picked up by our beloved agent Sweet Beats. We have garnered a really strong online and in-person following. Because of that, we were able to crowdfund for our album. So our debut album was recorded in August with Grammy Award-winning Mark Lawson. So we have songs that are mainly based in existing folk songs. We've realized that we actually have more to express ourselves. Rage over ecological devastation due to war. This Rusalka appeared, a Ukrainian mythological creature that takes back her domain. We often ask like, hey, are you guys ready to go dark? And people are like, yeah, and at the end they're like, oh my god. Lately, I have been thinking about themes of resilience, and one of the figures that has been appearing to me is the goat. For its joy, even when things are kind of bleak, they expel whatever is weighing on them. And they do that through a very loud bleating sound. We invite the audience into the song with us. The experience of our shows ranges. We have really boisterous songs, songs that you're totally able to clap along to, a lot of audience participation.
Oh, Miss Effie was her name. Through the West she won her fame, being handy with a gun, but she drove the men insane, 'cause she'd whip out her pistol and shoot most any guy and sing out this alibi. I didn't know, that it was loaded, and I'm so sorry, my friend. I didn't know that it was loaded.
And then we have these moments that are really quite intimate. We take these softer songs, we have real genuine moments of sharing the more difficult aspects of life. It's been an honor to take people there and be trusted with that. Been quite pleased with the appeal, not just to Eastern Europeans who always get up and start dancing, but we have been able to take these songs to places like Francophone Quebec and like Senegal, and the audience participation that happens has been absolutely beautiful, and the moments of connection that have come through these performances have been an absolute gift this last year. We're gonna stop talking now and let you enjoy music by Divka from the past.
The Maple Blues Band are legends of Canada's blues scenes. They've toured across North America, delivering powerhouse performances everywhere they go. Their new show features original instrumentals alongside incredible guest vocalists. Expect a night full of soul, swagger, and blues at its very best.
Hello everyone, Gary Kendall from the Maple Blues Band. We'll be touring our Maple Blues Review in 2026 through 2027 and beyond. That show will be built around our instrumental music and will feature stellar vocal performances by some of the best blues singers in Canada. We got our start at the Maple Blues Awards in Toronto in 1997, providing the musical landscape for that event. Our job there was to play musical stings, to bring winners and presenters to the podium, back up and accompany the very special guests, and compose and perform original instrumental pieces to open up each segment of the show. The reward for having that platform to compose our own music came to fruition in 2023 when with Cordova Bay Records we released Let's Go, our critically acclaimed album. This review that we're doing now, the Maple Blues Review, is not a new concept. We started this in the early 2000s and toured for a few years with singers Don Tyler Watson, Chuck Jackson, and the late John Mays. That resulted in recording live at Twisted Pines. We put it on the shelf for a while, but now we're bringing it back because we ended our association with the Maple Blues Awards in 2023 to branch out and become a touring act on our own. The Maple Blues Review that we are presenting now in 26 will feature Samantha Martin, Susie Vinnick, and Jay Douglas, but the singer lineup will change from time to time depending on their schedules and their own careers. Another aspect of what we do is we do leave the door open to collaborate with presenters on who they would like to see in their venues. The piece that you're going to see is an edited live performance video from 2021 at the Calgary Blues Festival. Some of the guest singers are not the same as the ones that will be on tour with us in 26, but it'll give you an idea of the Maple Blues Review in its element. Instrumental music surrounded by stellar vocal performances. Enjoy this piece, and I hope we can collaborate with you on a Maple Blues Review event in the future.
When I first met you, babe, oh, you look so fine. I said then, baby, yes I did. Now I'm gonna make you mine.
Baby, we had a little quarrel. We had ourselves a little fight. And if I have to beg or steal or borrow,
When I get the blues, give me a rocking chair. When I get the blues, give me a rocking chair. Well, blues overtake me, I can ride it away. telephone. Now get lonesome, get on.
Bouchard Danse is a Toronto-based company that boldly blends dance and theater. Their new show is an intimate journey through childhood memories and the lasting impact of trauma, inspired by the lived experience of the company's founder. It explores complex family relationships with honesty and care.
Hello, bonjour. My name is Sylvie Bouchard. I am the artistic director of Bouchard Danse and the choreographer and performer in Hommage. Hommage is an interdisciplinary solo work with dance and theater as its two cornerstones. Hommage is inspired by lived experience. It speaks about addiction and takes the audience through a journey back in time to reintegrate parts of ourselves, memories, feelings that get lost or split off during traumatic experiences. Hommage is poetic, visual, layered, and profound, and it also shines a light on hope, love, and resilience. Audiences from our work-in-progress showings tell us that Hommage is deeply engaging for the mind and for the heart, that the piece moves them and surprises them, and that the journey is very compelling from beginning to end. And now enjoy a trailer of Hommage with footage filmed at the Registry Theatre in Kitchener after a technical residency.
Un hommage à mon père, an homage to my father, a remembrance of who he was, of who he wanted to be. A personal story which I am hoping will blend into universal experiences, connections to other stories and life tapestries. My father was broken, and even though I was met with his brokenness day in and day out, I am astounded that, as a child, I deeply took in his tenderness, kindness, and generous heart in a small gesture, a look, a word that would soar through his broken self. And I gulped, gulped, gulped those soaring moments. My father drank so much, all the time. He drank himself to death. My father sang opera. That was his heart. An arrested heart, a bombarded life. And so I pay homage to a man who lived his life arrested between his generous heart and his scary, broken self.
Hommage is 55 minutes in length, and the piece can be performed in French or in English. Hommage can be presented in small and mid-sized venues, and our lighting plot is easily adaptable. Besides traditional theater venues, we can offer studio presentations. We have a variety of outreach activities available, such as workshops or classes for dancers, non-dancers, and older adults, talkbacks, and also a special initiative where we engage with students in psychotherapy and with professional psychotherapists. For timeline, we will be performing Hommage at Parcours Danse Off in Montreal this November, showing the full work in a studio in French and in English. Hommage will premiere at the Citadel Ross Center for Dance in Toronto in March 2026, followed by a performance at the Registry Theatre. In October and November 2026, the piece will tour to Ottawa at La Nouvelle Scène and then to Nanaimo, BC. We are very keen to share Hommage with audiences and are looking for additional touring dates in fall 2026 and in winter, spring, and or fall 2027. Thank you very much for your time, and do reach out if Hommage has piqued your interest.
Echoes of Her amplifies contemporary works by Iranian and Canadian women composers. Their concerts blend Persian and Canadian traditions, creating intimate, powerful music that speaks to identity, heritage, and transformation. It's a performance that celebrates women's artistry and leaves you inspired by the richness of contemporary composition.
Hi, my name is Bahar Harandi. I am an Iranian-Canadian soprano, and I'm so excited to share with you this project, which is so close to my heart, Echoes of Her. Echoes of Her is a classical contemporary live concert featuring works by female composers from Iran, Canada, and Quebec. The pieces we chose for this concert are written for voice, violin, and piano, or a combination of these instruments. The length of the concert is around 55 to 60 minutes of only music without intermission, but based on the time frame that we have or the context of the concert, we could also talk about the works or the composers and introduce them to the audience. Idea of this project came to me after my previous collaborations with Sabo Yousefi, who plays violin. We are both from Iran, and we've been inspired by the women life freedom movement in Iran. So we decided to present the works by female composers of Iran in Canada. In season 2024-2025, we had so many concerts in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, which were so successful with great feedbacks and critics' reviews. For example, I can name the one we did in April 2024 in Montreal, Bougie Hall. So these experiences actually led us to go a little bit further in our work and create a program which includes the works by female composers from Iran and the ones from Canada and Quebec, the societies that we feel so close to after living in Canada for so many years. For Echoes of Her, we invited Chloé Dumoulin, who's an extraordinary pianist from Quebec. She joined us in April 2025 in Joseph Rouleau Hall in Montreal. And that was the first time that we performed Echoes of Her. This collaboration also had so many great feedbacks from the audience. It was so successful. Some of them came to us and they've been so grateful for having this opportunity to listen to this new genre of music and be engaged with it so deeply and emotionally. Others were so interested in the cultural aspect of it, or the fact that we chose pieces that shows voices of women from different parts of the world, and they are so different yet similar as well. enjoy the videos of our previous concert and join us for this project and let these echoes speak to you.
Silk Road Diaries brings two artists from along the Silk Road. With horsehead fiddle and santur, they weave soundscape that evokes deserts, steppes, and ancient journeys. Their collaboration is a celebration of heritage, resilience, and harmony across borders.
Hello, my name is Orintoe Halvan. I'm a musician from Inner Mongolia that play modern hod or horsehead fiddle.
And I'm Sadaf Amini, an Iranian-Canadian composer and performer of the santur, a classical Persian instrument very similar to hammer dulcimer. We are the co-creators of Silk Road Diaries, From Persia to Mongolia, a deeply personal and musical journey that bridges our two ancient cultures.
This project born during a creative residency at the Centre des Musiciens du Monde in Montreal. The Centre invited us to explore how our traditions, though geographically distant, might connect through shared history, sound, and stories. What began as a conversation, our tea evolved into a rich musical dialogue rooted in the Silk Road.
The Silk Road was not only a trade route, it was a meeting place of philosophies, aesthetics, and sound. With Silk Road Diaries, we follow that thread musically, blending Persian modal music and Mongolian traditional forms into contemporary framework. You'll hear improvisation, classical motifs, and original compositions that evoke open landscapes, caravan trails, and shared emotional themes like migration, memories, resilience, and cultural continuity.
Our instruments, modern hod and santur, have never traditionally been played together. They resonate beautifully and create a unique sonic space that is at once ancient and new.
Why should presenters be interested? Because Silk Road Diaries offers an intercultural experience that is both intimate and expansive. It's musically accessible, emotionally rich, and connects audience to living traditions that rarely meet on the same stage. The project is adaptable. We offer duo concerts, workshops, and storytelling formats that can suit performing arts centers, cultural festivals, and music series focused on world, classical, and contemporary music. The visual and narrative potential is also strong, making it ideal for multidisciplinary programming.
We invite you to travel with us from the Iranian plateau to the Mongolian steppes through music that remembers, imagines, and connects.
Thank you for listening. We look forward to sharing Silk Road Diaries with your audience.
Deanna Jones is a Niagara-born artist, writer, and director with a gift for hilarious, honest storytelling. With puppets, music, and playful audience interaction, her new show unpacks her personal story while reflecting on the global impact of cigarettes. It's funny, clever, and completely original.
Sorry, I can't take this. I'm in the middle of a pitch. I'll talk to you soon. Hi, sorry about that. My name is Deanna Jones. Oh, please, sit down, sit down. Thank you so much for standing. How are you all doing? A lot of fantastic pitches today. I hope you have snacks and maybe some of you are you going for a cigarette? Hello everyone, my name is Deanna Jones and I am thrilled to be here today to pitch to you my show, A Brief History of Smoking Cigarettes, ready to tour into your 2026-2027 seasons. I am an artist, performer, and producer based in St. Catharines, Ontario, and I am co-founder and artistic director of Suitcase and Point Theatre Company. Yes, it's about cigarettes, but really it's about addiction, identity, class, loss, and letting go of the things that we have clung onto for dear life. It's part play and part magical meltdown. It's full of little joys, stupid songs, beautiful, weird visuals, puppets and show tunes, and weirdly, a lot of heart. In the show, we meet Dee Dee, who's hiding from the RCMP after being caught smoking less than 9 feet away from a Service Ontario. She's hoarding her last cigarette, filming her last will and testament, and just trying to figure out her life, while Deanna, the artist, explains to the audience how amazing this play is going to be once Big Tobacco funds it, because they owe her, of course. Underneath the absurdity is something real. Whether you've smoked or not, we've all held on to something a little too long. I've been developing this piece since 2020. Since then, it's grown through multiple workshops, had 2 presentations in St. Catharines, and funding from the Ontario Arts Council. Directing and dramaturgy is by the brilliant Karen Hines, and I am joined by a stellar group of collaborators and designers, folks who I trust with my wildest and weirdest dreams. Look at all of their names sprinkling on the screen. It is amazing. This November, I'll perform the show in the legendary Cameron House Backspace for an intimate audience of about 65, and in January, I'll be having my national premiere at Calgary's High Performance Rodeo in a theater that seats about 200. So come check them out, see them both, and see where you want me. Who is this play for? This play is for kids aged 6 to 7. It's for adult audiences, though I did have a few friends bring their 9 and 11-year-olds to see the show last year, and I had no idea. And they were like, no. Honestly, they laughed their heads off and loved it, and they will never smoke in their lives. So I guess with this play, I'm doing a public service. This play is for those who have lived through the changing cigarette industry, who have felt the impacts of smoking, or for folks who just need a good laugh and an unexpected punch in the heart. Oh, and do I smoke real cigarettes in the show? No, I would never ask you to let me smoke in your theater. This is a highly tourable show and can play to audiences of 50 to 200 in all sorts of spaces. Is your theater too big? Never. We can have an on-stage party, me and the audience. It tours with a small group, 2 to 3, myself included, and can be in and out within a day. And there's no sparkles to get stuck in your Mylar. I have years of experience mentoring young artists and offering all sorts of workshops. I would be thrilled to build on my time in your community and to discuss options with you. I know you're all wanting to talk logistics, so let's get down to brass tacks. The cost is approximately $2,000 per show. This is negotiable pending how far away you are, how many shows there are in the run, and any added outreach initiatives. I am happy and capable to collaborate on grant applications to support organized tours or block bookings. So why this show and why now? Because we're all grieving something. letting something go, hiding from something, this play is an opportunity to laugh, reflect, and maybe even exhale.
Irish Maithen, originally from Ireland, is now based in Prince Edward Island, is known for their raw vocal fire and magnetic stage presence. They've played everywhere from Glastonbury to the Sydney Opera House, and their shows are packed with stories, songs, and emotion. With a Juno nomination and countless awards, Irish delivers a once-in-a-lifetime experience every time they step on stage.
I don't know if it's a secret because I talk about it all the time, but the way I connect to an audience is realizing it's all about them. It's always about the audience. There is no other thing. The art will the art is what you do to bring you to that place. And if someone has deemed the art to be good enough to put you on that stage, that's where the art ends. It's out there. It's always about the audience. And that's why when I was a girl, you were a god. When I looked at your face, the whole world was shining. You were love. You were laughter. You were love. Now you're the hereafter. Maria, Maria, Maria. When I see my baby coming, I know that the timing is right. 'Cause I wanna dance with you. I hide into the night. I will go laughing and howling at the moon. 'Cause that's what people like us. Honey, that's what we do. And that's why, like, I never do a set list. I always know what song I'm starting with, but then I let the crowd guide me. If they want to go up, I'll go up. If they want to go down, they'll go down. There may be weather that's coming ahead, yeah. And this empty bottle causes this aching head. It's all an illusion, 'cause you just will not break those ties. And now the memory's faded. We don't know why. A quick sight in the mirror. I'm losing patience with myself. My pockets are empty. As gone is my wealth. Oh, you took it from me when the morning was still young. And with the opening of eyes, you were gone. Sweet serenade, yeah. Sweet dancer. It was the touch of your
you'll be my final romancer.
And that brings us to the end of day one of the Virtual Networking Artist Showcase. We hope you enjoyed the presentations and discovered new artists to inspire your future programming. For more details about today's artists or to preview the next showcase, please visit ontariopresents.ca or check out your digital handout. For details on Ontario Presents and our block booking program, please feel free to email info@ontariopresents.ca. We'd also like to thank our funders, the Department of Canadian Heritage, the Ontario Arts Council, and the Canada Council for the Arts. And most of all, thank you for joining us. And a special thanks to our artists and agents for making this showcase possible. We'll see you again on October 8th and 9th at 10 a.m. and at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bring a colleague, grab a coffee or tea, and join us for another day of inspiring pitches.